Last month we did a daily video exploring the significations of the nakshatras for that day using the amazing and simple Tara-bala system based on the new moon nakshatra that began the month. Everybody loved that. I loved it. So this month I'm going to offer a personal reading doing the same thing but explaining how those cycles pertain specifically to your individual birth chart. And in addition, as a bonus, that reading will include a full-length video with the nakshatra ingresses for each ingress, just like we did last month. There's a link in the description below to order that reading. But we'll talk more about that later. For now, I want to share a few parts from that full-length video so that you can get a sense of the fundamental nature of this month coming up and see a few of the interesting ingresses into various nakshatras. So this month begins with the new moon in Shravana nakshatra, the constellation of listening. And that reveals the fundamental theme of the whole month. This is the month where we have the opportunity and the mission to learn how to listen better. Shravana's sutra is Prichamana Prastat Pantovastat. Prichamana means to question, and panto means to learn or to figure out how to do something. So this month is about learning how to listen well, which means listen humbly, listen in the mood of a student, which means listening actively, listening with questions, not really listening to respond or solve or something like that, but to listen to learn. That is our quest this month. And the main thing that will be challenged this month by that very quest are the things which stand in the way to it, which primarily is ego, pride, and self-importance. So now let's take a look at the nakshatra ingresses that will occur in relation to this new moon and how they're going to add some dimension and specificity to this. The first ingress is into Dhanishta, and the Tara-bala is Sampada, which means to enrich. So Dhanishta enriches Shravana. The desirable enriches the listener. That's the key phrase. So what does this teach us? What do we have to focus on? What do we learn today? That you have to have something desirable to listen to. You have to want something in order to listen to something. So what we should do in the beginning of our journey is be clear with ourselves. Well, what do we really want from this person who we're having challenges listening to? Or this subject that we're having challenges listening about? Figure out what we really want from these things, what we find desirable in these things, and that will inspire us to actually listen to them. On January 28th, the moon ingresses into Uttarabhadrapada, the nakshatra of depths, with the Tara-bala of pratyak, or attack. So the depths attack the listener. Depths means you're withdrawing and going deep into this quiet place. So the lesson here is that listening is interactive. We don't want you to try to impose yourself on the listener, but you shouldn't withdraw entirely into the depths of yourself. Don't dominate, but don't disappear from the relationship. You have to involve yourself in the conversation, but how? Not as a problem solver, but as a question asker. On February 2nd, the moon ingresses to Rohini with the Tara-bala 1. It is returned to the first Tara-bala, which is Janma, or to manifest. So Rohini is the arousing nakshatra, so this means the arouser challenges the manifestation of the listener. The arouser needs attention. We're familiar with this as a stumbling block to sincere listening. We've heard it before in other ingresses. So that's one lesson, but there's another important lesson. The second stage of learning how to listen begins here with this ingress, this return to the first Tara-bala. This stage of listening, this second level, the next level of listening, is based on arousing and inspiring the speaker. So try to understand and practice the qualities and the behaviors and the kind of speech that evokes another person to speak, not just more, but more openly, more deeply, and more fully. On February 12th, the moon ingresses to Chitra, the constellation of brilliance, with the potency of enriching, second Tara-bala, Sampada-bala. So the concept here is the brilliant enriches the listener. The brilliant nakshatra Chitra is all about seeing the substance and the form and the design and the multifaceted nature of how one design can produce many products. Chitra is all about truth. But truth is not a singular thing. It's multifaceted. We've heard this lesson before. We have to face it again. We have to get it right. You may know the truth from one angle, but that doesn't mean you're done listening. Because there's so many other angles in the same truth, and each one of those angles reveals some other color, some other sparkle in the subject. So be hungry and interested to explore all the aspects of a topic. Then you'll become a great listener. On the 16th of February, the moon goes into Jyeshta Nakshatra, the constellation of the best. It has the potency of progress. 6, sadhana Tara-bala. So the statement here is that the best is the means of progress for the listener. This constellation of Jyeshta is described as Shrinat, Prastat, Prati Shrinadavastat, which means it knows how to evoke something so that it can respond to that evocation. Therefore, it's very good at conversation, because this is what we need to learn in conversation. We need to not just learn how to listen, but learn how to speak in such a way that doesn't shut down the conversation, but turns it up, and evokes. And specifically, we want to evoke the specific things that we want to evoke. So we need to learn that art to be able to be a good listener. The ability to interact with the speaker in such a way that we evoke them to say the things that we need to learn about. So this is just a small sample of the awesome info that's in the full-length video that you get included with my personal new moon reading for February of 2020. Besides this, when you order that reading, you also get a chart of the new moon's nakshatra and zodiac in a bi-wheel overlaid with your birth chart. You're also going to get the key symbolic phrases for each planet from your chart, based on your planet's Tara-bala related to the new moon. You're also going to get, and this is kind of like the key point of the reading, is my personal explanation of what each of those key symbolic phrases for each of your planets means. And that, you have the choice of getting it as about a 15-minute recorded video or audio, or if you want it in writing, you can choose. And then besides all that, you also get the full video of all the nakshatra ingresses. So the fee for that is $108, but I'll discount it to $72 up until February 3rd. And you want to probably buy it before February 3rd anyway, because you don't want too much of the month to go by, because you're getting information about that month. I may get swamped, I may get behind. So to make sure that you get your reading as soon as possible to start making use of it, order it right away. So go look at the description text below this video, find a link, and place an order. Thanks so much.